Hello everybody, how you all doing? I've got my selfie stick, so bear with as I try and hand hold my camera. Thoughts for today. Well, I guess this digital idea is on everybody's minds. How on earth are we going to navigate this? Do we need to navigate it? Do we need to fight it? What do we do? And my thoughts are we kind of just walk up to each barrier and overcome it best we can and navigate it best we can in real time rather than worrying about it. And also, there's all this conversation about the straw man and who are we really? We're certainly not a number, an NHS number or a driving license or a passport. That was something that was assigned to us at birth. And so who are we really? Who is this person here? Okay, so she goes by the name of Sarah, but she's most definitely not a number or a digital card or any of that other stuff that the powers that be have tried to trap us into. Well, they're doing a pretty good job, really, I guess, but we have to take it as an unknown, because most of us were completely unaware of, and our parents were definitely unaware of it most of our lives. So we now deal with what it is, and how do we circumnavigate this stranglehold that is weighing down on us, with more intensity every day. And my belief is that we just, as I said, navigate each day as it comes and try to stay out of their grasp. And I know it's very difficult, people who are working, that have mortgages, self-employed people that are directors of a limited company, to try and move through all of this. And it's not easy. I'm going to try and sit here for a while. But we need to try and more take ourselves out of the system. So grow our own food, gather your tribe around you, find like-minded souls to share ideas. And one idea I came across was posing the question, if you've got a group of people, I have a group of friends that we gather once a month to just kind of mull over what's going on and how best to navigate these times, and to kind of build a strong relationship between us all. So come the apocalypse, we have at least people that we can rely on. And I was thinking, what would I bring to a community? What can I bring to a community? What can I offer? And it's a really lovely question, that, So I sat down and I wrote down all the things that I think I can offer a community. So I'm an elder, so I guess I carry some wisdom. I'm an artist. I'm a healer. I'm a way shower. I'm a weaver. I can make things. I'm a dog walker. I'm a carer. I can sew, knit and crochet at a really basic level, but I can make things using those skills. I'm not a great dressmaker, but I can make a duvet cover, or I can make curtains. I'm a cook, a family cook, not a chef, but certainly a family cook. I'm a cloud gazer. I'm a amateur tarot reader and pendulum reader, and I'm an animal lover, a chicken rearer, a gleanie rearer, Oh, what else? What else do I do? Gosh, I'm a nature lover. I have a fair amount of knowledge about nature and what plants and trees and things are. So I could teach that to children. And yes, I mean, the list goes on. Even the smallest thing when you're in a community can be helpful. I might not be the best DIYer, but I can paint a room or I can decorate a room. Um, I'm not very good at putting up shelves. I'm never terribly successful. But, one would hope that somebody else can do that. So I think it's a really lovely way to think about yourself instead of thinking, oh, I just do whatever job it is you do and that is it. But actually, it's much more than that, isn't it? That all the little things that a community needs to pull together to help one another when it's needed. And so, yeah, I'd just like to offer this as a thought. And if you'd like to put some ideas that you have in the comments, let me know what you're good at. What can you offer a community that we can start building a group of people that can share their skills. I mean, I don't think a community in the way of a sort of 1960s stroke 70s commune would work terribly well in this day and age, but somewhere where everybody was an individual but also part of the whole. And Michael Tillinger has, his plan of one small town is an amazing way to start building a community and to become self-sufficient. And I'd encourage you to go and listen to some of his talks. It's fascinating stuff. And personally, I wouldn't know where to start doing something like that. That's not one of my skill sets, but you'd have somebody who is a good manager, who is good at doing spreadsheets or working at the economics of running a community, a self-contained community, if you like, or an engineer. How would that work in far as communal spaces and things go? So I feel it's really important now to just gather people around you that are of like mind. Sorry about that. I had to make a quick dash for home. The clouds opened and very heavy shower came down. So I was also thinking about how we would communicate, how you would be able to communicate with your tribe if, for example, the internet went down or one was shut out of the internet because it didn't comply with digital ID. How would you communicate? I mean, certainly for me, my friends are a 20-minute drive away by car. How would I get there if, I didn't have a driving license, or I didn't have my car, or I wasn't allowed to buy diesel because I'd done 5 miles too much that week? I think I'd probably have to go and buy a electric bicycle, but then that won't work either. Have to get fit and cycle. I don't know how long it would take to cycle 20 miles. I don't know. Anyway, that's something to think about. I've been thinking about getting a Nokia phone for a long time because that I guess would be useful. But again, this is all things that you can talk about with your community, with your tribe. Is how would you communicate if that happened? How would you all gather to plan a way forward? So yeah, so I think, well, maybe you have like a relay. I go up the road a mile and pass a note to somebody who walks the next mile, and they pass a note to somebody who walks the next mile. I mean, I know that sounds a bit far-fetched, but it's all stuff that you should think about. Might not even come to this, and I'm hoping that people in this country, in the UK particularly, are going to wake up and see that it's not about convenience. Digital ID is about control. and ultimately we'll end up like China, and frankly I don't want to live like that. I really don't. So for me it's just about building that infrastructure of, you know, community minded people. I mean, I live in a hamlet which is part of a bigger parish, and everybody kind of knows everybody else. That it's all people that have lived on farms around here. There are, you know, a fair amount of new people to the area too, which is good. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is a basis of long-standing family friendships here, which is a great thing to be involved in, to be connected with. And although a lot of the people are probably not quite as woo-woo as me, not quite such a if you want to call it conspiracy theorist, you know, whatever. Maybe they're too believing that the government is not here to stop us, but I think quite a lot of us know that they are. But they do have a very strong community already. And this morning I went to a social gathering up in the old schoolroom, which is next to the church, where people gather and people take cakes that they've made and jam and plants for the raffle and that kind of thing. And it's to raise money for the church. But it's also a great place to meet people and to chat with people and just pass on information. And like this morning, I just dropped in to the conversation that I was looking for a piece of land, you know, an acre or 2 acres where I can extend my vegetable garden. And I don't expect for 1 minute that any farmer is going to part with an acre of land, but you never know. It's just a case of dropping that seed into somebody's head, and that they think, oh, well, actually, I don't use that little field up there, that part of that field, because it's useless as far as cattle or sheep go. But, you know, maybe Sarah would want to buy that. So it's worth dropping those kind of ideas into conversations with people who aren't necessarily completely on the same wavelength as you. And yeah, so just food for thought for today. Do leave me a comment and let me know what your skill sets are, however small or however insignificant they are. They're always helpful. You know, whatever you do is when everybody's combining different skills, you'd be surprised how much it helps a community work. So please drop me a line, let me know. Or if you have any ideas about how to communicate if the apocalypse hits. Yeah. Carrier pigeon, maybe. Ciao for now.